Bestowing the awards is Casey Freed Jennings, who made a 10-year commitment to fund the award in her husband's name. Please welcome Casey.
So I have to say, I feel a little bit like a fraud up here tonight. There's so much talent, and I'm awed by all the bravery here. But I'm really very, very proud to be presenting this award tonight. Those of you who've been around a while, as I have, know that international coverage and long-form reporting were truly, truly important to Peter, and that he was a passionate evangelist for both. So this is the perfect award to carry his name. It's also a perfect time, because after something of a drought, we're now in the midst of a fabulous renaissance in documentaries, both in quantity and quality. There's a bit of a symmetry here tonight. As some of you may remember, Peter's career really took off at the Munich Olympics in 1972, when he was ABC's lone reporter at the Games and the Israeli athletes were taken hostage. His reporting at that most horrible time was a stark reminder of why in-depth journalism, why journalism's depth of knowledge, skill, and experience matters. But much more important than that coincidence is this. The Lord of the Rings represents what Peter believed in, what he admired, and what, as an anchor, with muscles to flex, he supported. Smart, gutsy reporting, the kind that takes on the powerful and the powerfully corrupt. Exactly the kind of reporting that the Real Sports team has done. And finally, on a personal night, as an Olympic junkie who relishes seeing the extraordinary unfold, it's heartbreaking to see the Olympic ideal desecrated. But I believe that the Lord of the Rings is a massive step towards the day when we can all come to believe in the Olympic Games once again. And here is Joe Persky,
That's it.
the executive producer of Real Sports.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Casey. We at Real Sports respected your husband greatly. A few of us were fortunate enough to work with him. To receive an award named for him is a true honor, and we thank you and the Overseas Press Club for making it possible. Peter is, of course, iconically associated with ABC News, but as Casey mentioned, his first big breaking story was actually done for HBO Sports. In 1972, he went to Munich to cover the Olympics to take a break from his regular beat. He wound up reporting live from the scene around the clock when members of the Israeli Olympic team were kidnapped and then killed. For Peter, it was his first major exposure to the US audience. But for the Olympics, it was only the latest instance of the Games being used by those intent on gaining power or making a point, no matter the cost to others. The trend dates to at least 1936, when Hitler used the Berlin Olympics to legitimize his regime as he prepared to upend the world. But in recent years, the trend has accelerated. Leaders from China to Russia to Brazil have been using the Olympics to pursue glory, power, and prestige, and the cost has been massive in human freedom and human life. We traveled to each of these countries and half a dozen others to report on this story. Our focus, however, was not on these world governments, but rather on the one organization that they all had in common, the organization that has enabled and empowered them, the International Olympic Committee. The IOC claims as its mission the spread of world peace and human freedom. Our reporting found that its true motives appear to be less lofty, that the IOC's members pursue wealth and power above all, and in so doing actually work against the noble values for which they claim to stand. More than any project we've done in our 22 years, this was a team effort, requiring contributions from more than half of our staff. I do want to single out the contribution of one of them, our producer Josh Fine, whose tireless research and ambitious thinking made this project possible. On behalf of all of the team, I thank you again for this honor.